information, news, and entertainment on demand.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
We are into the second hour, special hour of the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. And we are brought to you by Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, where they just have the great gear and they make sure that you have the best service and the text that will, let you know what that gear does. And they just want you to play it loud over there at pitbullaudio.com and SIR at SIR-USA.com. They are an amazing company that's been around for years, powering studios like we had with our previous guest, Alan Sanderson, Pacific Beach Studios, and, in the industry in large. And we've got another great guest here right now. We have Paul Varlamoff. I was trying to combine your names, Paul, from Showslinger. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing this afternoon?
Sounds good. Yeah, this is day and age where, J-Lo and everything else. So I'm trying to give you Varlamoff, so kind of Parliament, Funkadelic, Paul Varlamoff. So,
yeah, not a problem. It makes it easy to find who's a telemarketer when they call me.
Yeah, exactly right. So, hey man, thanks for being on the show. You are a man who's doing some incredible things out there and really doing some revolutionary things to kind of change the industry with your technology, Showslinger, and really kind of helping bands get paid, man. That's the question I get all the time is, how do I get paid? So,
Yeah, that's definitely true. We're really excited about what we're doing and how we're using technology to bring new revenue streams to artists.
Yeah, definitely. Before we kind of touched on that, I really like to spotlight the people behind it and kind of show where the heart and the passions are behind it. I know that you're a player. You've been doing this. You also have been in business and been an entrepreneur. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with this duality of technology and music.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't see a lot of people that are kind of both the creative person and the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess. But for me, it goes way back. I mean, I've been a musician my whole life, since the age of 4.
Wow.
When I started learning piano, that's my primary instrument. So I took a lot of lessons from a very talented Carnegie Hall pianist for many years, and really honed my chops doing that until about middle school, when you start getting into the band and all that kind of thing. And so I ended up on percussion because they said I didn't have good lips for trumpet. So they stuck me back there with the drummers, which I guess weren't that cool back in the day. But it really gave me an awesome sense of timing, which you really don't have when you're on other instruments. So then, things start going along. You get up into high school, and then all of a sudden, hey, man, we're in a rock band. We need a drummer. You want to come join us?
Now, I'm going to interrupt you. Did you do that for the girls, or did you do that for the music?
Well, you're not going to believe me when I say this, but I did it for the music.
Okay, right.
Then later was the girls, right?
Yeah, exactly. You realize, hey, girls like musicians. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to discover that part about you. So you're about the music. So continue, sir.
Yes, absolutely. No, I mean, I have just a huge, deeply seated passion for music. It's what I've wanted to do my entire life. But yeah, so bunch of friends of mine, in the high school band say, hey, look, we need a drummer. You want to come in and do some drumming? Sure. So I started doing that for a couple of years and honing my chops on the kit. I ended up being in drumline for many years, and actually tried out for a lot of DCI drumlines and got accepted. But I couldn't actually go on tour with the professional drumlines because I ended up going to Georgia Tech, and DCI would have cut into my, academic the start of the year there, so I couldn't do that. But anyway, then started writing songs, doing a lot of guitar, and writing songs. I think I put out my first full-length album when I was 17 or 18, actually. I was so surprised my parents let me cut school for a week to go record an album, and this is going to date me a little bit, But this is back when we actually recorded on ADATs. This is right when like digital was becoming the thing, but it wasn't quite there yet. So then that was my first record. And then over the years, as I graduated college, I went out on tour actually as a pro musician for 5 years, doing the whole thing. I mean,
so you got your tour in afterwards, right?
clubs.
Yeah, you got your tour in afterwards.
Yeah.
You had to give it up. You give it up for school, but now you're getting it in, so that's cool.
Well, yeah, I didn't even want to go to college, to tell you the truth. You know, like most musicians, it's like, I just want to plant my flag and, make my career in music and all that kind of stuff. But my parents, being who they are, just like any other parents, push their kids, hey, have a plan B just in case.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I was there with you,
that
man.
kind of thing.
So, yeah, so you're on tour, man. That's cool. So what was the name of the group? Was it your own project, or was this a collective?
Yeah, so it was an original and called Foxtrot November, and as a matter of fact, I mean, I still play under that name. I still play shows every week, and I mean, I'm a very active musician around the Southeast now. But back in those days, we were touring nationally, and actually did very well. And actually, we're going to go back out on tour in about 8 months to a year. I'm finishing my 4th full-length record now.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
So, yeah, very, very active songwriter and all that kind of stuff. I've been immersed in it my entire life.
Wow, very cool. So as you were going through this stuff, tell us a bit about some of the technological things and the entrepreneurial stuff that you did when coming out of college, because you're a man of kind of a Renaissance man. You were doing 2 key things that take your attention. Right now, I want to ask you how you're going to be able to do a tour and run this great company, because I want to go out on tour too with my group, but the radio network is keeping me busy.
Yeah, so that's actually a great question, but it's actually really, really cool. The company coincides with what I'm doing in my music career. I mean, the whole purpose of Showslinger was to help artists. I wanted to build a product that I could use myself, so I'm going to be going out on tour using my product as well. But more importantly, we're drawing attention to what we're doing and how technology can help replace some of these revenue streams that have been lost. So in essence, by me going out there and doing my thing, which, going on tour for me, I'm not trying to be a rock star. I just love music and I have to play. But it can also bring attention to what the company is doing. So how do you run it all at the same time? Well, you got a good team of people back home.
Smart man. That's was it Jack Warren from what was it? I can't remember. It was one of those tycoons that maybe I think it was Ford that got called out on it, where he's like, you're not smart enough to run a big corporation like this in America. And he goes, hey, I'm smart enough to push this button right here, and that gets a guy who's a lot smarter than me to tell me what I need to do.
well, it's like anything else. I mean, look at Richard Branson. The guy has something like 400 companies under the Virgin umbrella. It's not like he's running the day-to-day of every single one of those. He's a guy who's got an eye for talent. He puts together a great team, and it allows him to, I guess, hang out on his island half of the year.
That or do the major tour and go take a trip up to space, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Now that's a real entrepreneur, man. Actually, one of my heroes.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely amazing. I knew some folks that worked with him back in the day. Said he's truly the character off camera that he is on camera. So I can only imagine some of the crazy things. I've heard about some of the parties that they threw. Put it that way. Let's just kind of leave it at that.
Oh, goodness. That would probably make our touring days just look, like child's play.
Definitely. So, kind of touching on that, though, obviously it took you a little while to kind of get to this concept. Let's talk a little bit about Showslinger and what that is. What were some of the things that led you to this idea of providing a technology that would help bands get booked?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I came up with this idea, I think, like others have any idea. You see a need in the marketplace out of a sense of frustration or just general need. In my case, when we were touring full time, it was early to mid 2000s, and this is Facebook. Was just coming out. MySpace was the big thing, but there was so much emphasis on having a digital footprint to be successful as an artist. But, the touring for us, getting booked at venues was still done the same way today as it was back then, the way it was in the 1950s. Some guy calls up, hey, man, can you, book me a show there?
Yeah.
The guy on the other end of the line says, well, I've never heard of you. Well, we're really cool. Can you give us a shot? And having toured for so many years myself, I spent so much time, and I mean, you're in a band, so you know the deal. Like, usually in a band, one person kind of does it all. He does the booking, he writes the records, he puts together the tour logistics and all that kind of stuff. And I was that guy, so I spent so much time booking. And then, you know the deal, you spend all this time promoting the show, booking the show, then you get out there and you play to the bartender.
Yeah.
And just realize that, look, there has to be a better way. Technology is so advanced now, especially with the rise of mobile platforms, that we can now do it all on our mobile devices while skipping the middleman and kind of eliminating a lot of the common headaches and hassles that we've all had to go through. Things like double booking. You go ahead and book the gig. 6 months out, you show up, you're excited, a crowd shows up only to find that another band is on the stage in your time slot. Well, what the heck happened there?
That's never happened to anybody, right? Yeah, no, exactly. I've been there many times, so I understand.
Oh, man, can I share a quick story with you on that?
Actually, I want you to keep that thought. We're down to the 30-second mark, and I know this. I don't want to interrupt that thought. Let's kind of give some folks the URLs. How can they find out about Showslinger?
Showslinger.com, for sure. Absolutely. It's free for artists to sign up there, so they can just pop over there, click the button in the top right, and away they go. Yeah,
and you've got a lot of great videos to kind of talk them through how to utilize this to the nth degree of taking advantage of all its tools. We're going to be getting into what those things are here in the next few segments. This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, first segment of the second hour, which is our special hour here, showcasing Showslinger and Paul Varlamoff, or we like to commonly call him Parlamoff. And we'll be right back here in a few short minutes. Thank you very much, SIR at SIR-USA.com. You power a generation and generations of touring musicians. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Righty. This is the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. And my name is Florentino Buenaventura. I know that because I just heard that from the announcer, or boxing announcer, it sounds like. And of course, we want to give a big thanks to Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. They are powering a generation of listeners, as musicians, I should say, to with gear. And now we have Showslinger Paul Varlamoff here, and he's going to tell these musicians how they're going to be able to make some money with his technology. So, Paul, you had a good story that you're going to get into, and I didn't want you to kind of get into half of it and then give the other half. So, hit us with that story, man.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I kind of like to share these little vignettes from time to time, I guess, because a lot of artists can relate to it. We were talking about double booking and booking gigs and the hassles and kind of the pain that goes along with that. And one story I was. I booked our band out in Wilmington, right? We're from Atlanta. It was about, 8 or 9 hour drive, I want to say. So we start out trying to get to the gig 4 hours ahead of time because I always like to be early and professional and show up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Car breaks down, 2 hours outside of Atlanta, so I actually sprinted 5 miles to the nearest exit to rent a U-Haul.
Wow.
Right? So put all the gear in the U-Haul, hook the trailer up, boom, we're on our way. Okay. Now, we got 4 people in the band, and we're hauling. Now, it just so happens that a hurricane hit the coast of the Carolinas that day. And so we end up in town slogging through this hurricane, and we end up at the gig. We were supposed to be there 4 hours early. We ended up there an hour and a half late, so it took us an extra 5.5 hours to get there.
Wow. So
show up. We unpack the gear. Another band is on stage. They double booked us. So, needless to say, we start calling the booking agent, furious and trying to work things out, and it ended up just because of how long it took us to get and all this stuff. They got the other band off stage. We performed. We rocked it out. We were total professionals. The crowd was just jumping and going crazy, and it was a great gig. And then we drove 12 hours straight back home. So, I guess the point of all that is that it's hard out there being a musician. The booking part is the last thing that you should have to worry about. And so with a tool that can guarantee your gig and make sure that there's not going to be any problems, you're going to get paid, you're going to show up, everything's going to be right, the venue's going to treat you fairly, all those little headaches and hassles that musicians have on their mind, the stress of this thing, Showslinger's taken all that away. Yeah,
let's kind of jump into it now that we're kind of in the mix of Showslinger in some of the circumstances and situations bands can get into. What is this technology? I've had a chance to experience it, and if you're listening right now, and you should have the internet connectivity at the same time because you're going to listen to us on the internet, you should take a look at showslinger.com, and he's going to talk a little bit about it because it's really cool on what they're doing to get you guys powered. So, hit us to what your technology can do.
Yeah, okay. So there are 3 big things that Showslinger is going to do for you, and where we're coming from is that our perspective is that artists need one thing and one thing only. And again, Showslinger's for emerging artists all the way through guys that are on tour. But the one thing that musicians need more than anything else, more than gigs, more than promotion, more than this, more than that, they need money.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we've all heard the term starving artist, right?
I would like to get paid for gigging, so I definitely with you on that.
So exactly. So we came from that point. We need to get artists money. So how can we do that? We do it in 3 ways: getting gigs, getting you more tips when you're at the gig, and getting you funding for anything that you need, whether it's gear, touring, rent, studio payments, whatever it is. So 3 ways to make money. Yeah. That's really what it's all about.
I want to say one of the things that just caught my attention, the biggest one. Well, both, it's kind of in the same, they're two different things, but they're kind of parallel with each other, was the tips piece. Because I've seen a number of these, we've seen the online ones where they try to connect you with, the venues.
Sure.
I've seen some good ones where they actually have some good venues and they do a good job at connecting them. But again, going back to it, how do you get paid? And right now, this market's starting to really become a crowd-funded, initiative. People are, it's kind of going back to the days of Mozart and Beethoven, where you have patrons that are taking care of you and that are powering you. And there really hasn't been a way until I've seen your technology that powers that. And I think that I commend you on that, because that's awesome. They can do that just very simply through PayPal.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. I really appreciate that. So the tips portion that you mentioned is very, very interesting. Now, like you said, there's a lot of things online that kind of claim, hey, you can tip artists or you can send money from people to people. But this is really just basically peer-to-peer payments, just like PayPal.
Yeah.
And that's been around for, at least 15 years now. What's really unique about what we're doing is we created something called a Digitip Jar, which is digital tip jar, right?
Yeah.
So what's really unique about what we're doing is that it is for artists, musicians, DJs, those kinds of folks. And what that means is that, say you're playing on stage right now, picture you're in the corner of your local bar or your local theater, you're jamming out on stage. Customer walks into the bar or your fan walks into the bar. The phone is going to ping in their pocket. They're going to pull it out of their pocket. They're going to take a look, and it's going to say, hey, Foxtrot November's on stage right now. Tap here to check out their set list and request a song. And then, boom, they're in business. They can just open up the app, and they can request a song. Now they're interacting with you. They can tip you through that, with Apple Pay, PayPal, credit card. We even have a really cool credit card scanning feature because we know people are going to be drunk at the bar at like 2 a.m. And so if they can take a picture of that credit card and not have to focus on entering 16 digits, it's better for the band. And consider this.
That's really cool. I didn't know that part. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. That was a really cool technology that's taken off in the last couple of years. And, for us, the only way this thing is going to fly is if you make it just dirt simple for everybody involved. So what's cool is that as a musician, you've got your phone up, on stage anyway to check your set time or, whatever. And so musicians got their phone up there, but they're going to see tips and requests just coming in on their lock screen. Boom, boom, boom. And so they can just watch that thing and now they've got instant contact information for their fans too. So it helps grow their fan base while they're making money, and they don't have to do anything other than just put the gig in Showslinger. Everything else is automatic.
Yeah. And I think that's important. And obviously, there's some really cool tools. I mean, we all want to get paid, but how do you coordinate this stuff? And, it really is about building the fans and giving them something. Like I said, when I looked at it and how that worked, somebody can send you some money through PayPal. You can say, hey, tip us through PayPal, but it's not the same as, they're there immersed in, your music. They're immersed in your bios or your pictures. You might be able to take pictures of them at the show so that, you put them up on there. Tell us a bit about the features that kind of give this, really, a true artist experience.
Yeah, so the biggest one I'll talk about the artist standpoint first, and that's not having to do anything to collect the money. Like, for instance, when you sign up for Showslinger to get paid, you don't have to put in a bank account or any of this crazy information. You just get paid out through PayPal. Nice, fast, secure, the whole 9 yards. All you have to do to make the tip jar work is just put your date in the mobile app. So just fire it up. February 16th, we're playing XYZ. Boom, you're automatically checked in to receive tips, and the money starts flowing.
Yeah.
Now, and you get cashed out automatically, so you don't have to do anything. At the end of the night, you get an email, here's how much you made. Now, what's really interesting is that, consider this, 50% of the crowd is not carrying cash. So if you, as an artist, made, $180 last night in tips, you probably could have doubled that or more. And the interesting thing that we found, what artist wouldn't want to make an extra, $50, $80, $100, $200 a night, right?
Yeah.
The very interesting thing that we found, though, is anybody who uses tip jar that's either, cash or our digital tip jar, they're repeat tippers. And when you show somebody, when somebody has your set list in front of them on their phone, they're not going to tip you just once. They're going to tip you about a dozen times. And so that's what's really cool. By giving them your set list, they now have a means to connect with you get their songs played, and it gives the crowd a more interactive experience because now you can see what's coming up. Oh, hey, man, they're going to play, my favorite U2 song. I'm going to stick around for a few more drinks, and guess who loves that? The club owners.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Is we're always looking at how we can get paid, but part of it is we need to look at how we can get the club owners paid because then that's going to be able to keep us in gigs. So I think that's
of course, and that's really where Showslinger is different. Is we come at this entire thing from the club owner's standpoint, which you might be saying, well, if you're helping artists, how does it help to make the club owners more profitable? Well, the club owners are the source of the money. You make them happy, they're going to book artists. They book artists, the artist is happy. And then if the artists are playing, the fans are happy. So the nexus of the universe is kind of there.
Definitely. It's all symbiotic because, your software does a great job at band to fan as well as from band to booker and fan to club. So, I mean, it really kind of ties it all together in one cohesive package. And, I think that's a wonderful thing. And you've got, they can put their pictures, they can put their tour dates, obviously connect with clubs, and we're going to kind of get into that in this next segment of how they can use this to get booked. But it just does these amazing things. What are some of the other things? We got about 20 seconds in this segment left. What are some of the other key things that it does?
Well, the fan funding feature is a pretty cool one, and if you want, we can get into that in a minute. But that's where it's kind of like a slimmed-down Kickstarter campaign where you can raise funds for anything that you want, no restrictions, in just a few seconds.
That is beautiful. This has been the second segment of the second hour of the Changing Stage radio show here on a lovely Saturday afternoon in San Diego. Hopefully it's lovely everywhere else we're in this country, but we are going to be right back in a few short minutes, and we are powered by SIR at sir-usa.com. They have been powering many bands on tour, hopefully bands that use Showslinger. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID Communications.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
That is right. We are into the third segment of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet talk radio. My name is Florentino Buenaventura, and I am here with Paul Varlamoff, who is a musician who's done it before and who's making a solution for musicians who are wanting to, to do it, do it and get paid. So we've been talking with him about the technology behind all this. It is, well, let's kind of talk about how they can, access this. There's, a few different ways. Tell us about that.
Yeah, anybody can just log onto the web, get on Showslinger.com. They can sign up for free, get in, take a look. We have a really tremendous amount of great videos that can kind of show people how to maximize the revenue from the tip jar, from funding, all these things. Or just get on to the App Store or Google Play, download the mobile app, and fire it up.
Now, and you also have iPhone, is that not correct, or is it just Android?
It's both. It's okay. iOS and Android.
Yeah, that's just what I thought. So, and I like the fact that, so a lot of these only work on Android and iOS because this works on a PC or a Explorer or Windows browser. You could also use your Windows phones. And I say that because I'm fondly a Windows phone user, so that's how I would access it. But that's important because
there you go.
There are technologies out there that are in the same vein, so to speak. But if you don't have, an iPhone or Android phone or even on your computer, you can't access it. So I think that's powerful.
Yeah, it totally is. And, Showslinger is all about being inclusive. We want all artists, from the guys who are just getting started to the guys that are touring pros, and we want all fans in there. And so we realized it had to be on all the platforms, web, iOS, and Android. Those are the dominant ones right now. So we wanted to make sure everyone could get a hold of it.
Definitely. What, you don't have WebOS? I'm just joking, man. That's an old one. I come from the background of mobile, so I used to work for Microsoft in the mobile division. So we kind of looked at all the different variables. But and it's really important that they have that, and they pretty much can access all the features from all those. Am I not correct?
Yep, absolutely. It's 100% functional on everything. Now, there's some features that you can't do on the web that you can do on mobile. Like, for instance, with your mobile phone, it's got location services and stuff like that you just, you don't have on PC. But you're not going to be using the tip jar when you're sitting at home, right? You're going to be using it when you're out on the bar, on your mobile phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing for you. So let's kind of, we were kind of getting to the crowdfunding piece of it, and that's an important thing because I've talked to a lot of experts in this business, and we're going to kind of touch on that in the fourth segment. But we're finding that it's almost getting back to the days of Mozart and Beethoven and all those guys where they didn't have CDs, they didn't have records or any kind of recordings to get paid on. They weren't making royalties, and they were definitely barely getting paid for live performances. So they did it by patrons, people who wanted to have that to be able to say that they were able to contribute to the arts. Quite often they were, social climbers that wanted to say, hey, look, Mozart's my boy, so I'm obviously pretty important. So, but in this particular case, this is about fans who appreciate the art that you're doing, and your solution provides a way to do that.
Yeah, now what's really interesting about what we're doing, and when you say crowdfunding, people can kind of get worn out on that. Okay, we've seen a million platforms that do that. What is different about what Showslinger's doing? It's very, very simple. With lots of crowdfunding platforms out there for businesses and, people that are making movies and records and all that kind of stuff, it's great, it's cool, it's useful. The difference between us and a lot of that is that bands are out in the real world. They're playing shows. They're at venues. Yeah. You see them on the streets. So we came at this from how to build your fan base and how to make money and grow your band at the same time. Now, since bands are in the real world, they can use our platform, which they can just fire it up on iOS and create a campaign in a minute or two. But we encourage them and we show them how to use the platform to create really amazing experiences, not just a signed T-shirt or a tangible thing that you can mail to somebody, but an experience. So instead of getting that signed T-shirt after the campaign is over, say you're my band and you're trying to fund the winter tour. We're trying to raise $12,000 for hotels, food, and gas. We can create up to 5 rewards with Showslingers or experiences. And in this case, we're telling the bands, be creative. You're artists. You guys, you're very creative and you engage your fans in awesome ways. So have your campaign reflect that. For instance, instead of sending a signed T-shirt, why don't you give them 2 tickets to the show for $20? Maybe for $50, they can come backstage and chug a couple of beers with you, and you can take a picture with them. For $100, maybe they can come back to your hotel room and help you burn it down.
There you go. That's the one right there. Let's go burning down the house.
Exactly. So the point is that you're engaging the fan in these experiences with the band that make them feel close to you. The fans want to be in your world, and this is a way to let them help you and to give them something they can't get anywhere else. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's an important part. That's why one of the reasons why we created this show is to give people in the business as well as fans, a peek into what it is to be, like we just earlier we had Alan Sanderson, who has been a master recording engineer, the Stones, the Fleetwood Mac. He's talking about what it was like to be in the studio with these guys, to open up that, or technology like this is, how did this technology get made? Because you're going to trust your livelihood to something. You want to know the people behind it, and you want to know the reasons behind it, and you want to know how it works. And I think that's important. You're absolutely 100% correct. I couldn't agree more. And that's also what's unique about our company is that I am a working musician, but I've also been a booking agent for many, many years for small bars, clubs, and restaurants. So I felt the pain of both sides of the equation, and that's actually where this technology came from. If you have to kind of see all sides of it to create something like this, because it is an all-inclusive platform. You have to know the pain of all these different groups and how to solve that. And since I've felt so much of that over the years, it was kind of only natural to use technology to make everybody's lives better. Exactly, and I think that's important. In fact, we've been talking a lot about the bands, and that is definitely where you and I have a perspective that come from that, and most of the people who are listening also have that perspective. But it's also about helping the club owners and the festivals and all these other, because with so many groups now popping up there, it is definitely becoming highly, highly proliferated with the possibilities. You provide a service for venues to really get down to what kind of band they should book. Tell us a bit about that. Yeah, absolutely. And so the core of Showslinger is really focused on these heavy-duty tools for venues, whether you're a small Irish pub or Mexican restaurant or local neighborhood pub, all the way up to your theaters and that kind of thing. It's important to know that Showslinger's for the emerging artists up through the heavy-duty touring artists. Your celebrities and all that. They're good. They don't need anything like this. They got their own infrastructure. But the guys who are running small clubs and small bars and small restaurants, a lot of them, they own the place, or they're the general manager, or they're the bartender, meaning they have jobs that are not booking agents. They're worried about food and beverage and employee retention and these kinds of things. They don't have the means or the time to be an expert on music, and that's where Showslinger come in. With a couple of taps, they can find the bands that are going to make them the most money. They can book these people without any headaches or hassle. The bands are going to show up on time. Everything is going to run smoothly like clockwork because the system is built on sending out offers. Kind of like how on the web you can send out a meeting invite and somebody can accept it. Same thing with Showslinger. We've got a gig coming out. Does the band want to take it? And it comes right to the band's mobile app. I mean, how cool is that? Getting a gig right on your phone without even calling the venue. You don't have to chase these guys down. Yeah. Cuts down on a lot of the communication, a lot of the headaches and hassles, phone calls and all this kind of thing. And it lets the bands get back to work, and it lets the venue owners get back to work. So definitely. Peace of mind, saving them a ton of time. Yeah, and they can, if I'm not mistaken, they can attach video to their kind of, this is like a mobile EPK, right, or electronic press kit. So, yeah, we have several different options for that. They can attach YouTube, Vimeo SoundCloud, Mixcloud links. They can upload MP3s. We really make it, absolutely fast as I'll get out to sign up and fill out that profile.
And we just I have a network meetup group here in San Diego, and it's called Balanced Breakfast. Shout out to our folks around the country that are in Balanced Breakfast meetup groups all around around the world. It got in Canada, so I guess it's a dual country. But make a long story short, we just had a presentation from the largest tribute band agency in the world, talking about what to do to prepare for getting bookings. And one of the big things they said, and the biggest takeaway I got, was get your video set and make sure you have it's on point and that it represents you well, and your tool's able to really kind of share that with all the right people in these clubs, because that was the next thing, is how do you get to these people, and Showslinger, I think, is the perfect example of that. We've got about 45 seconds left in this segment, Paul. I want you to kind of think about one of your anecdotes, because I seen one on the web about how you were using these different technologies in different situations. Again, give us your URL so that we can have everybody go over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just log on to Showslinger.com. Go ahead and sign up for free, or download at the App Store or on Google Play.
There you go. So we'll be right back in a few short minutes. We always got to take that pause for the cause. This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. We are speaking with Paul Varlamoff with Showslinger takeover of this hour on the Changing Stage Radio Show. Big shout out to both Pitbull Audio and SIR at SIR-USA.com, and then Pitbull Audio, pitbullaudio.com. We'll be right back in a few short minutes to close out this hour with Paul Varlamoff.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children.
After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way. A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at whichwich.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH. Whichwich.com.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
That's right. We are back on the fourth and final segment of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. My name is Florentino, and we are talking with Paul Varlamoff of Showslinger about how you all can get paid. That's a big thing, as well as how you can really keep everything all nice and organized and have a good presentation package, because that's key now in this day and age, because musicians have to be business people. They can't just be creatives anymore. And that's kind of what we want to talk about right now, is this industry that we're in. Paul, you've been doing this for quite some time. What are some of the things that you've seen? And obviously you've seen some key gaps in how things are done, and you provided a tool for that. But what are some of these challenges that musicians need to look at addressing while they're trying to make it in this business?
Well, you actually said it perfectly a minute ago. Musicians have to be more than just musicians now. They got to be business owners, essentially. They got to be entrepreneurs first and creative people second, which is painful to say as a musician, but that's the reality that we face, because there's no more help from labels. There's no more help from, really anywhere. You got to do it on your own. And so Showslinger is your office. We want it to be mission control for everything that you need to do in your business to get your band off the ground and going. One of the key challenges that artists face is spreading themselves too thin. They've got a limited amount of time. They got to rehearse. They got to get ready for tours. They got to put together records. They got to promote. They got to book gigs. They got to do their social media. They got to do a million things. Showslinger is going to cut down on the time that it takes to do a lot of those things and eliminate a lot of those headaches. So instead of booking a show and hoping that the club owner is going to pay you and hoping that they wrote down the right time and hoping that people are going to show up, we make it easy. It's all right there on Showslinger. It can't be disputed. You're locked in. You're good to go. It promotes your shows automatically the minute they're booked, whether you enter them yourself or whether a venue sends you an offer and you confirm it. You're locked in. So our goal, what makes us happy is if the band calls us and says, hey, look, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can get back to doing what I do as an artist. I can get back to writing songs. I can get back to the things that I need to do, and if we can take some of that stress and headache away, that's a huge thing for us. Yeah,
and I think that's important in this market, because like you mentioned in talking with Alan earlier, it's not going to be about selling CDs anymore. It's about being creative, unique, and and it's going to be about finding new solutions on how to keep the ball rolling, because that's I've had top people in the business ask me, after interviewing, a couple hundred people now in the business, what's everybody saying? How do you make it in this business? And I think you hit the nail on the head. You just got to be a business person, and you got to find solutions. It's not for the weak at heart, for sure.
Yeah, and so let me address that too. How do you quote unquote make it? You're right. The number one question that we get asked, and every band asks, I've asked it myself. How do I get to the next level? How do I become a successful, musician, DJ? And Showslinger is open to more than that. Comedians, open mic guys, and this and that. But they're all performers, and they're all in the same boat. How do I get to the next level?
Yeah.
One of the things that Showslinger does that nobody else can do, or nobody else is doing, is you can build your reputation through Showslinger, much like popular auction sites allow you to build your reputation through feedback.
Yeah.
Showslinger allows you to do the exact same thing. So as you play more gigs and as you get your reputation out there, now you have a solid resume that is indisputable that you can take to the next club. So say you're like me, you're in a band that did really great in Atlanta. Everybody knows you, everybody loves you, you're selling everything out. That's great. But then you go to New York, and the club owners are like, well, who the heck are you? I don't know who you are, and you don't get in.
Yeah.
But our goal is with Showslinger. You come to that club and you say, hey, look, you never heard of Foxtrot November, but you look at my feedback on Showslinger. This is all from legitimate clubs all over the country. You see that I'm the real deal. Put me on the opening slot on the Friday night bill, and guess what? They're going to give you that shot because they know that you're the real deal. That's something that Showslinger has that nobody else has.
Yeah, exactly. They want to have confidence that they're not going to be trying something that's not tried and true. Like anybody else.
Exactly.
You want to know that it works before you put your money down. So.
Exactly, and right now, the reputation is all that you got. Well, I heard this band is good. I heard that they're okay. Let's give them a shot. No, I mean, club owners don't have money to waste. Times are tight for everybody, including the venues. So they want to bet on a sure thing. Showslinger's going to get them that sure thing. So as we ramp up, again, we're a young company. We have the tip jar on the funding for everybody can use today. Gigs, they're going to be coming to your area. If they're not there yet, sit tight. But the one thing that I did want to mention is that we have a very, very aggressive plan to get this into as many venues as we can because it's about building that up for artists. And we're actually partnering with major manufacturers to roll this out to as many artists as we can so we can increase exposure, awareness, and all that kind of thing. Guys like, Yamaha, Line 6, PV, Taylor, Harman, these major players in the industry that really understand what we're doing and want to help their customers as well. So it's going to be a really, really cool thing to see this grow over the next couple of years.
I think that's key. So and if I'm not mistaken, you're going to be at NAMM this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be important when you're going to roll it out to all these different manufacturers there and to, the who's who in the music world of musicians and people in industry. So that's going to be awesome. You're going to have a booth, if I'm not mistaken, from Mr. Scott Robertson. Robertson Communications. Big shout out to a good friend of ours, both.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to getting out there, shaking some hands, and meeting all the folks.
Yeah, we'll be out there as well. We're going to be broadcasting live from the media center, so we'll be. We have to have you guys come by and maybe do some demos right there live on air for us. Obviously right now at this particular point, we can't really kind of walk through the technology, but it's I think more importantly it was about finding out who you and the people behind you are to give that, again, that credibility of this is a solid company with a solid understanding, and it's not just a couple of executives that seen a way to exploit a hole, that you're actually trying to provide a service for the community.
Yeah, and that's something that really sticks in our craw too, because we're just like you. I was the same as every other artist. Getting a record deal, this kind of thing. Who do we talk to? And I think that all of us artists are really now sick of that, and we're okay saying, I'm just going to do it on my own and forget you guys. I don't need you. We got technology. I can do it on my own. So you're right. It is important that everyone out there knows that, the guys that are building this product. I mean, heck, I just played last weekend. A dive bar in my local town is still doing that thing. I used the tip jar. It was great. I made like $120. It was awesome, extra. But but we're still doing it, and that's another reason we're going back out on tours. One, well, I have to be on stage because I love playing music. But two, it's important that people understand that the guys that are building this are out there doing the exact same thing. So I'm going to be out there buying those guys drinks, helping you guys load in your gear. Maybe if you let me, I might jump in and sit in on a song, but that's if you think I'm good enough. So
yeah, definitely. Now, do you guys, as you're working with groups, is there a way for a band to become a featured group on some of the the artist presentations? We got about a minute left.
Yeah, exactly. So we're working on building a feature site or a feature page on the site right now. They can contact us at info@showslinger.com if they're interested in being featured. They can just give us a link to their Showslinger profile. We can take a look at it, and if it's all good, then we love highlighting people.
Definitely. I think this has been very illuminating for the audience. And it's exciting to see these tools pop up. And I think you've provided a really good Swiss Army knife, if you will, of, getting gigs and getting paid. So that's perfect. You're cut right to the heart of the bottom line of the musician. Unfortunately, man, this is, it's never enough time. Like I said, I want to have you guys back for, the NAMM when we're there broadcasting live. So, in fact, if you mind, stay on the line after we get done with the episode. I might actually have an idea or two too for you. And I think that you're welcome to ideas for at the info dot, at the info dot showslinger.com address. So this has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. We've been talking with Paul Varlamoff, or Parlamoff, like we fondly like to call him here. And this has been awesome. Showslinger.com, go there. Pitbullaudio.com, go there. And, of course, SIR-USA.com, go there. Stay tuned for next week.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Progressive Medical.
Hey, this is Heidi Rue, and Progressive Medical Center has literally changed my life and my health, but I'm not the only one. Adele suffered from bone deterioration, bone overgrowth, profound muscle discomfort, physical exhaustion, and mental fog. In fact, the bone deterioration becomes so serious that she had to have back surgery. Well, after the surgery, she still didn't feel well, and so that's when she heard about Progressive Medical Center. Progressive Medical Center discovered that her adrenals weren't working properly, her hormones were out of whack, and the drugs she had been taking were doing more harm than good. Adele came into Progressive Medical Center in a walker, physically and mentally exhausted. But now she's a world traveler. She hikes and walks several miles a day, and it's all thanks to Progressive Medical Center. 770-676-6000. 770-676-6000.
Progressive Medical. This is your life. Live it well.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.